Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your love reading for the week of November 26th to December 9th. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. I am doing bi-weekly love readings for the month of December. This is my Christmas gift to you. There's a possibility that I may continue to do bi-weekly readings instead of monthlies, but I'm not sure. I guess we will just see how it goes. I am going to do the tarot reading exactly the way that I've been doing the monthly readings. The only exception is that I'm going to pull one card from the Enchanted Map, and then I will leave you with one card from the Whispers of Love. So let's go ahead and begin. This is for confirmation, but first let's get you 9 cards from this deck. This is love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the weeks of November 26th to December 9th. You have the Three of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. The Knight of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. The Four of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius, November 26th to December 9th. Seven of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius, November 26th to December 9th. Ace of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius, November 26th to December 9th. King of Swords. The Moon. And the King of Wands. Okay, so the one thing I am doing different for the main energy, instead of doing the bottom of the deck, I'm going to pull a card randomly. What is the most important message that the sign of Sagittarius needs to hear from November 26th to December 9th? Okay, he'll draw into the middle of the deck here. And you have the King of Cups. So this would be someone who is a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This can be your romantic partner. This can be somebody new coming into your life if you're single. It can even be you if you have a moon or rising sign in that element. We will come back to this to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. But let's go ahead and focus on the first 3 cards. So you have the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Wands. So this is interesting. This tells me that somebody has been really determined and focused to see more commitment in their relationship. For some of you, I mean, because you do have the Four of Wands and it is a marriage card, I feel like you have been doing everything and then some to see more commitment from your partner, to take your relationship to the next level, to actually get that proposal. It could also be that you're really determined to move in with the person, to, again, take the relationship to a higher level. And with the Three of Pentacles being here and the Knight of Swords, this tells me that you have been going out of your way. You have been doing everything that you can, compromising. You've just been pulling out all the stops to move a relationship in the direction of either marriage or moving in together, or maybe even just make your relationship a lot stronger. And I feel like, you know, with the Knight of Swords being here, I feel like, you know, there will be a lot of changes in these relationships where you're really kind of struggling and you're really doing everything that you can to have more commitment. I feel like there will be many new developments. And I feel, you know, this is a really impulsive energy. So I feel like for some of you, you could be really impulsive in what you're doing to get that proposal, or to move the relationship to a higher level of commitment, moving in together, or maybe dating exclusively. The Knight of Swords is just impulsive energy, but it's also, you know, a lot of developments, a lot of things changing, you know, in these relationships where you want more commitment, or maybe you just want to meet someone that is, you know, marriage material. There is some movement there. Now down here, this is interesting. You have the Seven of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles. And I say this is interesting because the Seven of Swords, you know, I am getting deceit from this card. It does represent deceit, but it can also represent self-deceit. And I feel like if it is self-deceit, it's probably more for singles and couples. And I feel like there could be something that you don't want to see, or maybe that you've not wanted to see in the past, and that you're finally acknowledging this. I feel like for singles, there is like an opportunity here. You have the Ace of Wands, a chance for a new beginning in your love life. And I feel like you're really doing the work with the Eight of Pentacles to actually get that committed relationship that we see at the top in the Four of Wands. So I feel like singles are coming out of their shell. Like you're finally kind of seeing that, you know, I've been sabotaging my own love life, and that's why I've not been meeting anyone. It could very well be that there's a water sign that's very significant to you. Now, for everyone else who's already coupled, I feel, you know, like there could have been some deceit or somebody kind of being a little bit sneaky. It may not be that they were sneaking around with another person, unless that's why you're watching this video. I mean, the Seven of Swords means that, you know, someone's been doing, you know, the unexpected. Someone's kind of not been completely honest in some way. And, you know, with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like you're really tackling this problem. The Ace of Wands tells me that there can be a new beginning where, you know, someone has been maybe sneaky. You know, maybe they have not cheated, but maybe you've caught somebody texting someone. I've lost track of how many readings I've had lately where someone has told me they've caught their spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend texting someone. I don't know what is up with that, but there's been a lot of that going around. So I feel like, you know, it could have been something sneaky like that where it's like nothing major, no cheating. But I feel like there is a new beginning around it. There's a new life. It could also be, you know, that someone has kind of, you know, been their own worst enemy when it came to a relationship or a marriage, where they've been saying and doing all the wrong things, working against the relationship. Again, you know, I see the energy of somebody trying really hard, and you do have this message twice, the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. This leads to a new beginning for your relationship or your marriage. This means that you can completely just wipe the slate clean. Everything is forgiven, forgotten. And with the Four of Wands up there, you know, your marriage is either intact or you're moving towards a higher level of commitment. Now, down here in the bottom row, you have, this is interesting again, because you have the King of Swords and the King of Wands with the Moon right in the middle. Two court cards and then a major arcana. Now, you are a fire sign, so I feel like the King of Wands is probably you, male or female. It could also be Sun, Moon, or Rising. But you also have an air sign, so this would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So this can be your romantic partner, your spouse. For singles, this can be somebody new coming in for you. I feel like if it's singles, I feel like you might be really suspicious of this person because it's the moon between them. I feel like there could be a lot you don't know about them. I mean, especially with the Seven of Swords. But could also be a lot of fears. This is a very kind of fearful energy. A lot of fears around somebody new. But I'm even getting, for those who are already coupled, if your partner is the King of Swords, and they don't have to be an air sign, this can just be the energy they're in. Someone who's not very, who at the moment is not very connected to their emotions, and they're being really rational and logical, not really speaking from the heart. There could be a lot of fears surrounding this person. So either you're afraid that they're not committing to you or not staying in the relationship, or they might kind of be in a place of fear. But again, you know, I see positive energy. I see new beginnings around, you know, kind of suspicious activity, something that's a little bit off with the Seven of Swords. I see a lot of work in a relationship or in a marriage. But, you know, I feel because we have these two people at the bottom, King of Swords and King of Wands, which is you, and some of you could be afraid of losing this air sign. Or there could be a lot that you don't know. There could be a lot of things going on with your partner that maybe they haven't shared with you. A lot of things that come to light during these 2 weeks. Okay, so let's get some more confirmation from the same deck and see what other messages come up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius from November 26th to December 9th? Wow, the Queen of Swords. So now you have the King and the Queen of Swords. The Ten of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. So I'm going to put it right here. So, I mean, you have the King and the Queen of Swords now. So, I mean, there's a strong message here of an air sign. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So singles, I mean, really be on the lookout for new people coming into your life that, you know, have this energy, that are air signs. I mean, you do have that Knight of Swords at the top telling you there's going to be a lot of movement around your love life. But for those who are already coupled, you know, this can be your significant other and you, even if, you know, they are not an air sign. Because when I see a king and his queen, you know, the same element, these are two people that belong together. This is also two people that are very much alike. They have the same qualities. So there could be some differences, but I feel like if there are, you're working things out because you have a lot of that energy in this reading. Just looking at these three right here, I feel like, you know, with this air sign, someone is really like giving up or feel like they just can't take it anymore. I mean, the Ten of Wands, this is a heavy burden. This is just draining energy. But I mean, it did come out with the Two of Pentacles, which means that, you know, there are choices to be made. To me, the twos represent choosing, but this card also represents scattered energy. This is kind of like things all over the place. So I kind of feel for those couples where you really feel like this relationship has really drained me to where I don't really care anymore, or I can't take anymore. There's a need to kind of bring things back into balance, because the Two of Pentacles means that things are all over the place. And I do feel, based on what I see, that if you really put in the effort, if you really try to heal things within your relationship or your marriage, you will see results, because I see positive signs here of happiness and stability and new beginnings. Okay, so let's see what the other deck wants to tell you. Let's see if there's any repeating cards for you. I'm going to move the camera this way. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius for November 26th to December 9th? You have the Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. So now you have two knights in this reading, because you also have the Knight of Swords right here. Final card for Sagittarius, the Page of Cups, and the main energy from this deck. What is the most important message that Sagittarius needs to hear from this deck? I feel drawn to the front. Wow. Wow is all I can say. It seems that now that I've been pulling the cards, there have been more repeating messages with the main energy. Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords. There's a lot of air sign in this spread. So for some of you, like, there are screaming air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So again, this could be your spouse. This could even be you. This could be what they're trying to tell you, that someone is just, they're being too mental right now. Someone's not themselves. They're not listening to their heart. They're not listening to their intuition. They're being just really cold and logical. But because, you know, there's so many people in this reading, there's like two air signs. There's you, but this could even be another fire sign. You all don't forget the main energy from the first deck was a King of Cups, a water sign. Or some of you, there can even be a choice, because you do have, see what I do with it, the Two of Pentacles. Or some of you, there could be, you could be between partners, making a decision between two people that you are in love with, or maybe you don't know who you want to be with. This could be going back and forth between two people, because I mean, I see other people in this reading, but I mean, you have a strong message of an air sign. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull one card from the Enchanted Map and see what it wants to tell you. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius for November 26th to December 9th? What other message is there for the sign of Sagittarius for November 26th to December 9th? What other message is there for Sagittarius November 26th to December 9th? Okay, so once again, I'm just going to reach in here. What's the most important message that Sagittarius needs to hear from November 26th to December 9th? You'll draw into the back of the deck over here. Stuck in the mud. So I think this card kind of says it all. And I feel like for some of you, again, I feel like you've been struggling. I mean, I see a lot of energy in this reading of like trying. The Eight of Pentacles, this is you putting in a lot of work to either make a relationship happen or to keep it together. And then you have the Three of Pentacles. You started off with that energy of, you know, really, you know, trying to, going out of your way to make things happen. But I feel like for some of you, felt like, you know, you're not seeing the results, so you feel completely stuck, like your relationship is not moving towards this commitment, this higher level of commitment, or you feel like you're just stuck in a bad cycle. You're partner maybe is being unresponsive, and that could be why you have, you know, the 3 air sign cards, because they're maybe not really listening to their heart, their emotions right now. Maybe they've, you know, kind of closing up, they're keeping to themselves for whatever reason. I feel like you've been feeling stuck. Now, I just realized right now when I pulled this card from the Enchanted Map that I didn't discuss these 3 cards from the second deck. So let me just go over them briefly before I move on to the Whispers of Love. These 3 cards right here, because they are important. You have 2 knights. Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. There's movement. Yes, you got the Stuck in the Mud card, but you also have 2 knights, which means this is movement. So you are stuck no more. There does have, you know, there has to be communication, because you do have the Page of Cups, and you do have like all these messages of like trying, of effort. The Page of Cups means there has to be communication from the heart. There has to be a heart-to-heart conversation. And like I said, with all of these 3 air sign cards, there's a strong energy of people just kind of like retreating and just kind of like living in their head and not really speaking from the heart. Instead, just kind of keeping everything in, you know, inside. You do have this message of, you know, like you are important. You start off with the 9 of Pentacles here. And, you know, this is a card about you. This is a card of, you know, you making things happen, knowing that you are important, that you are successful. This is a really kind of self-reliant energy. And it came out with the Knight of Wands, which again, this is a very fiery energy of you being relentless, you being determined to reach a goal, to make something happen. And I feel like what you're pursuing, the reason you're relentless, is that you want to get unstuck. You want to get out of this hole that you've been in with the Stuck in the Mud card. And with that 9 of Pentacles, you can do it. This is a very successful energy where you really feel like you have accomplished something. You have accomplished something huge. So I feel like you could be feeling really good about yourself because you feel like, you know, I saved this marriage. Or, you know, I finally got this person to notice me. Or I finally, you know, moved this relationship to the next level. This reading is just screaming that you are important. Like, you can actually get your relationship unstuck. You can get out of this hole that you feel you have been in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull 1 card from the Whispers of Love. I'm just going to pull it for you, and I'm going to read from the book, and I want you to use your intuition about how this applies to your relationship or your love life. What message is there for the sign of Sagittarius for November 26th through December 9th? What message is there for the sign of Sagittarius for November 26th through December 9th? What message is there for the sign of Sagittarius for November 26th to December 9th? Okay, so once again, I'm just going to reach in here. What's the most important message that Sagittarius needs to hear from November 26th to December 9th? If we'll draw to the front of the deck here. And you have patience. At the bottom it says, love is patient and kind always. Okay, so I'm going to put it there. Number 17, let me just read from the book for you. And again, I want you to use your intuition about how this applies to you. Why did this card come up for you? Even though it's a general reading, there is some message in this card for you. Okay, so the book says, work towards having patience. If you are lacking patience with others, remember that they are human and different from you. If the impatience has to do with an outcome, your prayers are answered. Be a little more patient at this time. Okay, Sagittarius, this has been your weekly love reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again soon.